Hey YouTube, hey love, hey lovies, and I just got my hair done into 2 big braids, so I got it tied up, but here are the braids. They're really cute. See, they're like, anyways, somebody requested me to add to open space Saba mask apparel, I don't know, but we're gonna see how it goes. If I have to end it early, I'll have to end it early, but I can't believe I got through Come On, the gay parody of Gummo. Like, I would never want to see that ever again. But without further ado, let's get into the video.
It's a good feeling, man. Especially knowing then that, you know, we weren't crazy. You know, that's the relieving feeling. Like, we all saw it for ourselves and for each other. So now that it's starting to happen slowly and over time, you know, it's like, you knew this was gonna happen. We saw this. Yeah. My dad was into music. My uncle was into music. My grandfather was into music. So
what he mean to tell me is that everybody... Oh, wrong way. So what he mean to tell me is everybody in his family, almost everybody, was music. That would be awesome.
The idea of music being something not just to listen to, but something that you create, I think was always kind of a thing for me. So I probably started actually making music around like 8, something like that, 8 or 9 or something like that. I lived on the first block of Chicago. I didn't live with any of them. I lived with my mom's side of the family, but they always, you know, they gave us equipment and stuff, so we was like banging on pots and stuff and recording it for a long time, you know. R&B, neo soul.
He been around the music business for a long time then, cause he said 8 or 9. Like that's a long time.
And my uncle was like doing like super like hip hop, sample based kind of stuff, but he was just producing. And then my grandfather was doing like funk. I would see my dad on stage all the time, but that was it.
I see why he got famous. His father and his grandpa.
Grandfather performed maybe like twice, and then my uncle was just always in the studio because he was just doing production, but he was like always in the studio, you know. I got a tape recorder for Christmas. I already had like a
Please comment if you know what a tape recorder is, because I don't know what a tape recorder is.
I had a Yamaha and a Casio, so to me that was a studio, you know what I'm saying? I had enough to make sound come out. I had a karaoke machine, so that's what I was using as the mic. I had effects, it was reverb on there, it was echoes and shit. I got to get another 4-track, but I definitely still got all the tapes. They're at my grandma's house. Pivot Gang officially became the Pivot Gang as we know it today. 2011. We had all been making music together probably since I was like 13 or something like that. Most of us are family, so
he's been around the music business for a very long time now. So I need a pillow. That is way too far.
Almost doesn't count, like my brother's in Pivot, my cousin's in Pivot, and one of our good friends and his brother, you know, like, so most of us are related, so it's like we kind of always have been around each other, but in 2011, I think that's when it's like, that's just when we became the Pivot Gang, you know. I was rapping, but I was mostly on some like secret rap shit, you know. It's just one of those things, man, like when you're around people that you really, really respect and like you think these niggas are really good, it's, you know, like, I'm gonna just do the track. Y'all got it. Like, y'all don't need me to do this. And then, like, you know, over the years, it kind of just started changing the face, you know. I started rapping a lot more and being a lot more vocal and present. So I put out my first, like, mixtape in 2012. And that's the mixtape that got me, like, I guess, like, local. I was buzzing. I was making some of the, like, local blogs and, like, playing, like, I started playing shows and stuff like that. Like, prior to doing acid rap, I didn't really know Chance. Like, we knew each other, like we seen each other because we was at the same like open mics. We used to do a lot of the same open mics, so you know I knew him. But it was like, yo, what's up, Saba? Good to meet you. Yo, Chance. Like we didn't really have like a working relationship or anything. He just texted me one day like, yo, trying to get you on the album and shit. To this day, I don't even know where he got my number from because we really didn't have a relationship. But that's kind of where our relationship started, was like us working together. It had just been like, he was a fan of me and I was a fan of him, so it was like a mutual kind of respect thing there. It was just a super dope vibe in the city because everybody was working together, you know? But that's where I met most of the people, just like at open mics. I guess everybody had the same idea, like, we want to be rappers, we want to rap, let's go fucking rap. You know? I lost my cousin and my grandfather a few weeks apart last year. As fucked up as, you know, and tragic as that situation is, it's like, when I think about what's been happening since, it's kind of like we've been winning since. I feel like music is therapy, like not even just making it, but just to listen back to it. Like, especially with some of the topics that I'm talking about, like, it's like a lot of things that are like constantly on my mind. Like, I try real hard to think about some other shit, and it's like it comes back. Obviously, like with losing people close to you, man, it's like, it's hard. It's hard, and I think, you know, so many people, especially in the city of Chicago, are fucking desensitized to it, and they just like, you know, oh well, you know, move on with the rest of their life. But it's like, it makes sense why so many people are like fucking running to drugs and all of this shit, because it's like, look at what's going on around us. Like, we, like, we're young people, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's so much shit that we're facing that you would think we wouldn't have to face. My cousin Walt is really like one of the, like, he's one of the guys, like, you know what I'm saying, when Pivot first came to be a thing, like, he was there every day with me, you know what I'm saying, like, he was at the open mics every day with me and shit, like, he, you know, he knew all of these people and shit that we talking about. My last conversation with Walt, I was telling him that I got him on the list for No Name show. He died the day of the show. We never went to the show. But shout out to No Name for selling out Chicago 2 days in a row. We went to the show the next day. I went out and rapped that night. Like, that shit was wild as fuck. We did Shadow Man, me, No Name, and Smino. And
if he went out to rap that day, that must have took a lot of courage. So, praise him.
Damn near everybody was on stage in tears, but we was getting through the song, and that shit was just wild as fuck, you know?
Seriously?
It's at least like 10 relationships that I could have had with like people that I just don't have just because I don't smoke. You know what it really was? When I was a teenager, nobody tried to peer pressure me. I probably would have did it had somebody been like, hit the weed, bro, hit the weed, hit the weed. But all my friends when I was a teenager was older than me. So nobody did that shit, and here I am, still haven't done that shit. I play a lot of Call of Duty. I'm not even that good, bro, but I play the shit out of Call of Duty. You don't want my handle, bro. You don't want my handle. First, I did the whole project with only 2 other producers. It was myself and 2 other producers, Daoud and Day. Daoud is in Oakland, so we would fly out to his studio, and myself and Day would just bring hella equipment, like, and we would all hook up to the same speaker system and just cook. You know, it wasn't like a, yo, email that track, yo, do this. If you listen to it, I wasn't like on some metaphor shit. There's no similes, no punchlines. Like, it's like I'm just saying what's on my mind. Fuck it, just tell it, you know. I've been making music for a long time. I'm like, I want a classic album, you know. That was the thing that I had thought. I didn't really talk to anybody about it, but me and myself, we talk all the time about this shit, like, you know. Care for Me. The title was the last thing that came to me, and I think that's kind of where the album came from, a place of just like being unsure. I feel like as personal as the album is, it's also like a very universal concept. Care for me by me. Note to self, don't forget, care for yourself. Right.
Well, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Bye, YouTube. Bye, love. Bye, lovies.